Hi you guys! Today is Tuesday. It is, right? So we're in the kitchen. I wanted to, a lot of people mentioned this double boiler. These are Pyrex. It says made in the USA. And yeah, it's even kind of rusty around that little edge there. But this double boiler was my grandmother's. Or at least the lady that I called my grandmother. I never knew my mother's mother so well. I mean, I had met her before, but this was my grandfather's wife that owned these. And so when she died, they were my grandfather's, and then my grandfather gave them to my mother. But it's cool because they have glass handles on them, and they can be hung, and they're thick. They're really, like, the glass is pretty thick, you know? And I don't believe they make them like this anymore. But yeah, the double boiler was a pretty cool double boiler, I have to say. But, you know, I didn't really know the history. I just was cooking up my stuff, and I was the only one here at the time when I first started, and then my mother explained to me later that they were my Grandma Pete's. And we called her Pete. Her name was Petria, but she went by Pete. So I used to always say my Grandpa Fred and Grandma Pete, and people would be like, oh, really? And I'm like, no. Really? Yeah. Yeah, you know, whatever. So you guys, kitchen's kind of a mess, but I bought my present for Mona and Tyrone's wedding. And I went to Bed Bath & Beyond, and I use, well, it's like a Dutch oven, but it's actually French. So it's a French Dutch oven, and I love it. Mine's green, of course. But anyway, I bought them a red one. And I'm at Bed Bath & Beyond, and I said, well, this is a wedding gift, and I'd like to have it wrapped. And I'm picturing, like, this really beautiful wedding wrapping paper and a fancy bow or something like that, you know. And I was standing right at that counter, and there was cards there. And, I'm sorry. Not even holding the camera, I'm sorry. And there were cards there, and I was distracted looking at wedding cards, and then I never bought one. So how lame is that? Anyway, I finally turn around to see what they've been doing, and they, all I see is a purple bow. And so then I go over there, and there's this on the counter. Well, this is a box that says Bed Bath. It's really heavy. It's got a really pretty purple bow on it. But I thought they were going to wrap it. I believe I said, wrap this. And they were like, oh, no. Even when they finished, I was like, wow, that was really quick. And the lady's like, oh, we do this every day, you know. And then I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I wanted pretty frilly wedding paper, you know. And it really is just a box. I guess it's okay. But I didn't want a box that says Bed Bath & Beyond. I wanted pretty fancy wrapping paper. Anyway, I can't deal. That's what they're getting. That's the way it's going to be, right? They did have cool wedding cards, and I didn't pick one out. Okay, so enough about that. So I get in my car, all right? And, you know, radio's on, and all of a sudden, I'm like, what is that noise? And I turn off the radio really quick because, you know, I drive my car every day, all right? No noise is allowed. Nip that in the bud right away. So I could have sworn, I don't remember when it was, if it was yesterday or when it was, but I thought I heard some little funky noise. And so I turned off the radio, and I start driving, and I'm like, that sounds like something scraping. And I stop the car, and I get out. I am on my hands and knees looking underneath the car, and there's nothing scraping. There's nothing scraping. Okay. So I get back in the car. I'm driving with no music on and the window rolled down, okay? It's actually kind of nice out right now. But I'm still going, okay, I hear the noise. It sounds to me like something is on in the tire area. And I thought to myself, and then I had stopped at a stop sign. And when I stopped at the stoplight, I think it was a stoplight, when I pushed my foot on the brake, it was actually when I picked my foot up off the brake, I heard like a, what do you call it? A spring noise. The kind of noise spring makes. But it was kind of squeaky. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if it's the brakes. Now, you guys, I'm still hearing this really loud sound, but I don't know where to go. I'm in the car and I'm like, I want to go somewhere right now. Right now. I am one of those people. So I thought to myself, oh, my mother took her car to the Just Brakes people, and they're really close to my house, like half a mile from my house. Across the street from the battery place I was telling you about the other day. So I drive in there, and right as I get into their drive, I am not lying, parking lot, all of a sudden the metal noise cranks up. It's louder. It's a lot louder. And I'm like, oh shit, what happened? You know, and I'm hearing I heard like the spring noise again. And so I'm going to park in a parking space. And then the noise, it's like someone turns the volume up. It sounds horrendous. I'm like, Lord. And I pull forward a little bit and I'm, you know, making that noise. I'm like, oh, just stop, just stop, just stop. And I didn't quite get the car in the space because I was like, I can't listen to that again. So I get out of the car, I walk into the place, I tell the guy, just as I'm telling you, kind of freaking out, going, and then it was really loud. And he goes, that was you? That was your car? And I'm like, you mean you could hear it in here? And he goes, yeah, I thought someone was dragging something. Oh, I think it's really bad. And he goes outside, and he goes, did you hit something? And I'm like, no. I was shopping. I wasn't even in the... No, I didn't hit anything, you know? And so he comes out. He's a really tall guy, but that's always... Yeah, I'm really short, so everyone's kind of always tall, but he moved the seat way back, okay? I'm just saying. So then he gets in the car. We hear the really loud noise. He yells his mechanic to come out. Okay, there's 2 cars. There's 3 bays. 2 of the cars are already up in the air, and there's only 1 mechanic, okay? So this guy comes out, and his boss tells him, oh, you know, to take the tire out, you know, whatever. So he takes the tire off, he wiggles and shakes, he's looking with the flashlight, and he's going, there's nothing here. And he goes, if anything at all, there's a minor little, the teeniest little scratch on the drum or whatever it is. I don't know. He goes, that could have been from a little pebble. And he picks up this teensy little rock on the ground right there. And he goes, it could have been from this. And I'm like, okay, loud noise, back to the loud noise, you know, what could it have been? And there was this metal part back there. I don't remember what he called it. Plate, maybe? No, I'm not sure. But he kind of grabbed his hand onto that and he said, well, anything that's stuck in between this and whatever, I don't know anything about cars, okay? He goes, that could amplify and be pretty darn loud. He said, but I do not see metal scrapings or anything really scraped or like dug into that. And I'm like going, what just happened? I'm not like, just I pulled in, it was like, you know, like something broke. And he goes, well, maybe it was this little pebble, you know, because he said, there's nothing going on anymore or nothing wrong with this. And I said, well, then check the brakes since I'm here. What do the brakes look like? Because it was a brakes place. Now I have like this guilt because he comes out and helps me. And he goes, they're getting low. And I said, how long? And he goes, month and a half. I'm like, okay, I'll make an appointment tomorrow. Because I don't deal, you guys, I'm not going to wait a month and a half. I can't do that. We have bad weather coming on Friday. Well, they said snow. And actually, they said Thursday we're supposed to have a snowstorm, but hopefully I'm out of the Grants area by that point, because they're the ones that'll get the snow dumped on them. And you know, I get stuck up there sometimes if the snow's really bad, because it gets really icy and everything, and they're higher altitude than us. We're a mile high. So anyway, back to the car. He puts the tire back on. I hop in the car. The lift goes down. I hop in the car. Nothing. Nothing. Like nothing. Seriously. It freaked me out. It really freaked me out. But anyway, at least I got the gift, and I'm getting excited about Friday. Jewel was just here. And what else? Basically, that's it. That's all I have today. I'm trying to calm down. It was so loud. It was loud, you guys. Seriously, it was loud. Anyway, it was all good, right? It's good. Everything was good. I'll probably end up spending like $300 tomorrow on new brakes, but I can't mess around with that. We're going into bad weather season, and I drive. So no, we don't mess with the brakes. New brakes. I'm fine. No noise. Goodbye.